Well, hello there, everyone, and today we're gonna be reviewing the Magic the Gathering. I know, crazy to hear. Magic the Gathering, Marvel Legends. Yes, two different titles, as crazy as I'll ever be. Ancient, Ancient, Anti Venom. Now, this guy is using a reuse of the Agent Venom outfit suit. Basically, it's just reuse the body, and some of the accessories are just reused again. Yeah, we'll get to that part. Some of them are just uses that they have used before in other there's other Mobile Legends they have used in the past, so technically it's just a lot of reuse for this figure for the most part. But I did buy this. Oh god, I did buy the Walmart actually. I bought this at Walmart for $35 actually. On online sites, it does have it for 40 to maybe 35, depending on where you look. But I did buy this at my local Walmart. Well, I not my local Walmart. A Walmart farther out from my location, so you're gonna have to look in certain stores. I mean, the it does show you the other characters like the Spider-Man, Mary Jane, Iron Spider suit, and the Wolfman. I mean, Wolf, and that's pretty cool. Which the wolf, the main wolf is J.K. J. Jameson's son. Sorry, I can remember so many different names for these characters, but yes, we'll look at Ancient Anti Venom and see if we're worth your money. Because I'll be honest here, I like how it looks, but I do need to get the regular Venom too. What I'm at it to make it work for him, well, because that one has I'm gonna test for it. Which everyone would like for this figure. That might surgery, it comes with it right. It's cool enough, but it really needs the unmaxed head for it to make it a lot more better for that value. But let's look into it. No, and Ancient under recording. So ancient blah, blah, blah. So Anti Venom right here, which is Eddie uses the same body mode as Ancient Venom that came out a bit ago. It's using the same body, but it comes with doesn't come with the notes in the head. But come with the card, if you're into magic, which I'm not, but I like to figure how it looks. Now, it barely comes with the same thing from what I know of. From the same back piece. A lot of from what I know, uh, um, Ancient Venom didn't have this thing, but it had a gun. This one here, I remember it's that one. A shotgun looking fuse rich type of thing, and then in a headpiece, if I remember correctly, because that was using the retro card back then. Now this is basically the same, basically body mode. They just put in white and they just made this not like a dark gray, like a dark gray. I have worked with gray, so this is something of that. Actually, everything about it is the same. And I will say the one thing I don't like, no articulation or anything at the foot, and you can barely see it because it's not an actual joint. It's one of those things where it just like its own thing, and then it just goes in. It's a boot, which it's fine if you want to do that, but it's not the best when you want to have a articulated um anti venom. And I will say these things are actually on the rings. This goes around this. That goes around the ball joint it is using. So yeah. Now, articulation wise, there's no articulation in this part of the body. So there's no cuts at the waist right here, but at the top. So that is strange. Why would they do that? But they're using a body before the same Ancient Venom body that had that issue. But on the top where it has articulation base right here, only has what the other part doesn't. Now, articulation wise, it is a 4-3 arm. Does go up that far due to shoulder pieces, but I think if you can move them, does go a little more higher, but not much more. double jointed arms. I need to get that fixed. So. It does go up that high, which is pretty good for a arm if it bends like that. And the knees goes up to the actual back, or back actually, which is pretty good for as bulky as it looks. I thought it's pretty good. There is the thigh cut right here, which I don't really like as much. The thigh cut does look good until you break the mold. That's the only issue I have with that. And it does spin forward like this and back like that. I did do some cutting of the body actually, so yeah. Hand wise, you have an open hand like this, trigger hand on both hands actually, so that's kind of cool. And these hands are pretty soft, and a fifth hand for both of them. So it's kind of cool that you do get a lot of accessories for this, but the thing is $40 by itself. So, but let's get on to the actual things that he comes with, like this bitty part of the venom part of the figure. Basically, it just goes in the back of the body, kind of like this. This plugs into the peg with the peg, goes around, and then everything, like every weapon it comes with, does go on each one. Now you do get two smaller ones, so two of these guys, and you get two of the bigger ones. It's a different pistol, but comes with a compensator, a long magazine, and a sight, which is never used for anything else. And he does come with his own thing, but that has been used with other figures in the past, so nothing new when it comes to this figure. Technically, just reuse of items. The hands do go up and down. It ain't that more better like that, but up is not that much. I really wish it did a little more up. But these can go in hand too, in case you don't really like using the tendrils. Which I kind of like a looking hand actually. So I don't like the tendrils as much. And they actually slide in pretty decently. It is actually pretty good work. I'm going to be honest here. Even though there's not much painting on this figure, I think it looks pretty good just as it is. But it does have problems, but that's not what works. Size for in time, I mean, he has more legends and he has 6 inches, so I mean, compared to what Transformer, yeah. To the back to Spider-Man, I mean, they go pretty well together. I do have the other Spider-Man as well, the BoDleasons Spider-Man. The Samurai guy, I refused to back go. Which I forgot to point out, I did everyone point out when I did this review, that all this gear here, so this thing and this, you gotta use on that. Pretty cool. Even some of the gear here too. So, it's very like the thigh armor, and I think some of the chest, some of the backplate armor you can use. And the card is pretty cool looking. I mean, it is shiny, but it is part of the magic line, and I'll be honest here, I don't know much about magic, but it's a Spider-Man figure. So, and the thing is, these guns already do come with effects. So 2 effects that are glowing green like this, that like shoot forward, I guess. And the other 2 are like smoky effects. Kind of weird why you got 2 of each, but whatever. But I get to my final thoughts on this. Wait, did I do the articulation? Oh, I didn't do all the articulation. So this part right here on the legs, I did do more cutting, and I did make it a logo higher than I had to. Made it work, I guess. But this is really spiky, especially when you want to mess with it. It is spiky at times, but you figure it out. Yeah. I will say, like I said, it is pretty good looking, but there really needs more. It really needs more accessories to make it worth that money. It looks good, actually. Don't get me wrong, it looks pretty good. But the fact that it feels like it's lacking certain things to make me want to pay for it again kind of tells you how much I don't like some of it. The problems are lying within the reuse of with the reuse of the parts it has, and the fact that there's modifications for it actually. There are some modifications for like the like right here. So someone tried to cut the entire boot off them, like this, like put in hot water. They took it off, and they just did a whole new thing. They use I'm using a magician point, a joint, put it in there, and I made it work. And I gave more range onto that figure, to the same figure. It made it a hell of a lot better. And there is other things you could do to modify it to make it work for your liking. You don't have to do like, I mean, you can modify it or not modify it. It's your fucking money. Who gives a shit? I don't care. But I will say it looks pretty good. And the thing, it does break away from that venom kind of outfit color. With the black not being a full black, but like a kind of like a custom. No, sorry, not like a kind of like a lighter black, but not too white. That makes sense. Not like a gray either, but like a mixture between a black and a gray, kind of like that. But if you work with paints, you get a similar idea. What do I already have actually? Like this show right here. So it's something similar to this. This is like some paint I have used for some of my stuff and or for some of I do work with them. It's like a gray. It's like a gray with the black, and when you mix it in, is that pretty good? You can get the coloring down. You can do a little dip. If you want a little less, a little more darker, or a little more lightness, you already could. I like a little more white, a little more black. Kind of get it there, and it gives you that color correctly. I mean, it's pretty good, but the thing is, it's not off-putting of the black on here. And the thing is, I really would like if somebody did it to give a more stuff, custom parts. So you gotta give it like a kind of like more anti-venom kind of style, kind of like more alternate arms. And that kind of makes sense of like other items, but the fact you can buy gel weapons to make it work with it does make it kind of cool. But that's buying more figures for something like you're gonna use maybe once or twice in your collection, and that's what you get. But I mean, it's up to you, I guess. But would you buy this for your own collection if you're into this figure or into Magic the Gathering? I kind of don't like. Here's my point. I'm gonna be honest here. I don't like that the fact that we get certain characters for Magic the Gathering and the Mobile Legends to match together to get these things that we're getting, like the MJ and the Iron Spider suit, which is from the comics. But the figure has one problem: that the hair goes lean one way, and the thing is, trying to make her look a certain way, it's gonna be harder. And that's my problem with this whole collab. It's a problem because like you gotta pay extra money because it comes with a fucking card. And don't get me wrong, the cards are cool looking. Like these are cool looking cards, but at the same time, you're paying like $20 more for some of the other shit they give you. I don't like that you're paying for a lot of this dumbness. I'll be honest here. Look, I like the idea of it, but at the same time, if you're going to do Magic the Gathering with Marvel Legends or Marvel in general, give us some fancy kind of stuff. Like do fancy stuff. Like give us some alternate costumes, or do new designs. If you're going to do Magic the Gathering style, because if you play the game or know what the hell it is, make it work. Or just reskin some of the stuff that have been used. But they don't want to do that. It's just recolor this and this. Oh, you're hearing Spider-Man. But then you could come with lackluster hands, and that means you need to buy either the classic comic Spider-Man to get more alternate hands, like holding hands, which is stupid because you want to have holding hands for a Spider-Man, right? So if you want to give him a fucking melee weapon, what you think about it? Peter has done that, so give him that stuff. But I don't see why they don't want to do that. I think it's crazy, but I'll be honest here. It's just Marvel Legends. They'll work with the company, but then they're gonna pay like double that pricing. Look, I understand this guy being pricey, but at the same time, if you're gonna make me pay $35 at least, give me a reason to pay $35. If not, get the hell out of here. It's stupid as all shit. So if you wanna buy it, do your own stuff. If you care about it, do it. I don't give a fuck really. It's your money. So I hope you have a good day, y'all, and I'm gonna see you next review.
Wow.